Hello there everyone and welcome back. I am finally done with the Tyranids, and while I did not give the best representation I suppose for the Pirate fleet, I still managed to somehow win against Necrons. Against the 3 Scourge fleet at that, which in a lot of circumstances, unless I have a lot of fighters or point defense myself, it's really hard to elude. Although thankfully the 40 Lurker is like the only kind of ability available to almost all these factions now that at least is an easy way to delay the inevitable, I suppose, or at least have me lose lock if I position myself properly. And it worked out well there, if not just barely, since I won through the objective somehow. But it's time to mix things up, and I'm gonna dive back into the Adeptus Mechanicus a little bit. At least for this one video, I don't know if I'm gonna go with multiples again, since I'm still waiting patiently for the reset, if there is even going to be one relatively soon. So we're just going to jump around and I suppose play whatever suits my fancy, I guess. Because I'm kind of tempted to try and play with another battle barge Space Marine fleet, as opposed to the 6 strike cruiser fleet. So that may be in the future. We will see. But this is still the same fleet as before. I could go with 5 cruisers or 5 Novacans, although Dark Mechanicus is still useful in this fleet since it does have high energy turn, and spurs should not be underestimated, especially since they have 83 armor, whereas opposed to my the hive ships from the last few episodes, they only got 67 armor, so they're not nearly as durable, and the hive ships at the same time are also my lifeline to kind of keeping the rest of my fleet in order. So it's important they avoid whatever damage possible. But in this case, if I am going to get in a close range fight, or maybe if I'm face off against something that's really long range centric like me, then at least I have some close range punch to really intimidate them, and best case situation, bait them into a Novacan shot if they try to run from me. That would be the dream anyway, but let us have some fun, shall we? Okay, so we're jumping straight up against Necrons, so I like to think this can still go pretty well for me with the Novacans. I just don't have the absurd amount of brute force to potentially murder them immediately, as I would have with the 5 cruiser fleet, or at least the 5 Novacans. And I have been embarrassed slightly just because overestimating the power of the Novacans and underestimating just how resilient they are if I'm not actually connecting with them. Since unless I have armor-piercing rounds or in close range with them, which let's be honest, I don't really want to get in close range with Necrons just because of how easily they could kill off the crew of my fleet, if I can at all help it. It goes without saying though, I want to say we're dealing with some of Arc Propagator still, because that has been the popular type of strategy. So I don't want to commit to anything with shields, but armor-piercing ammo, there is real potential here. So it comes down, do I want to try and win through morale or win through the damage potential, which I think I'm going to rely on damage. Since after all, I pretty much have Novacans and not torpedoes, so it's not like destroying the deck helps me as much anyway. Otherwise, let's get ready. I am mindful of the possibility of a mass recall being utilized here. So I kind of want this light cruiser to somehow take point. And I don't need stasis bomb. Mecha Dominator could be great, but I need damage to deck for that to work, do I? Yeah, we'll go with it. Oh, I thought my opponent was right there, but any other tweaks I want? Since destroying the engines could be good if I can set up for a Novacan shot, so that's kind of where my thought process was. And they don't actually have rally or anything like that. Now, big question, are these Scourges? And actually I should be aiming for a deck, I suppose, too.
State your order.
3 ships could mean anything. It could be 3 battle cruisers, it can be 3 Scourges. So I'm left wondering, and we do have a tiny bit of latency as well, which doesn't really do me a lot of good. Actually, I'm okay with boosting here. They don't really have the extreme range to punish this. Since if these are scourges, they can just send them to me right away. And there's this gas cloud to conveniently hide me. What I would like to do is have these frigates try and contribute to an extent. And this works pretty good because my battleship and all that can conveniently just grab these 3 points, I think. I think that works to my advantage. As far as the objective game, although I am going to be flying somewhere where I have very little cover, if we do have to deal with the possibility of scourges. Well, let's conceal ourselves, get what damage in we can, I suppose. And so prepare them, prime them for some good damage, if I can get away with it somehow. Which means I should be checking for Nova Cannon range.
Rouse the engines. We are ready to serve.
Alright, so they're marked.
Machine spirit appeased.
Can't quite kill off, but
Hostile signature detected.
if I'm so lucky, I kind of want to kill that ship off, but
we are ready to serve.
let's see. I want to force them to jump, but they're not going to bite, are they? Which I'm kind of convenient in.
To serve the Omnissiah.
Alright, so they are triple scourges.
State your order.
So we know what we're up against here at the very least.
Machine spirit appeased. Calculating vectors.
Which means I have a lot of close range firepower.
Receiving your order.
So I just need the fleet to be together
Transition begun.
to try and punish that.
To serve the Omnissiah. Engaging drive.
Can I at least deny vision?
Machine spirit appeased. Let the Canticles fall
Nope.
silent. The spirits obey.
I was kind of hoping to conceal these, but I can conceal them some.
To retropropulsion. With matchless efficiency.
I was kind of hoping these ships to get recalled, though.
Unleash fire cascade. Collision protocols active.
Now,
Interceptors engaging.
if we could kill off these ships, these fighters, that helps a lot with their firepower.
Weapons calibrated.
Because I do have fighters here, I am marked, so
Routines active.
this will kind of be short-lived if I'm not careful.
State your order. The spirits obey. Reroute power to retropropulsion.
So let's try and get some damage in. Because yeah, they're just launching more fighters, alas.
Rouse the engines to fury.
Which is fine.
State your order.
Can we at least get some more hits in?
The Omnissiah. Transition begun. Machine spirit appeased.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Optimal course set.
Sadly, not quite gonna... Oh, let's
To serve
turn
the
you off, shall we?
Omnissiah. Calculating vectors.
Sadly, my
Receiving
ability
your
is
order.
not hitting the best, is it?
Reroute power
Now,
to retro
I don't
propulsion.
have... I do have armor pierce ammo, so let's take
Rouse
advantage
the
of that.
engines. Engage chrysalis protocols.
And also, distract these fighters a bit.
With matchless efficiency.
Because, yeah, they just killed off the crew there. I do have armor pierce ammo,
Ready
so
to
the
serve.
sooner we kill these off, the better.
Engaging drive. Engage engine red
It's just the
lines.
dang latency. Alright,
State your order.
avoid that. Boost
The
out.
spirits obey.
Try and
Receiving
kill
your
us off,
order.
because I have an opportunity.
Optimal course set.
Alright, let me just kill it off then.
Machine spirit
I hope this
appeased.
kills it off for me.
You've accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Engaging drive.
Do I have enough firepower to finish this?
Reroute power to retro propulsion. Utter the Canticles of
Because
battle.
sadly, you are not going to live very long, my
Master routines active.
capitalist ship. So there's not a whole lot I could do there.
Machine spirit appeased.
Actually, we could kill you because of armor-piercing ammo.
Calculating vectors.
So I'm fine with this.
We are ready to serve.
Flagship lives. We trade kind of an eye for an eye a little bit.
Cybernetica have boarded the enemy.
Kill this now.
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
That's what I want right now. And if,
strategic points.
yeah, they're pretty damn crippled.
Archmagos vessel
Finish it.
malfunction.
I want to go reload stance now. Their fighter count's heavily neutered.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Enhance rotational drift.
Now we'll see. If this jumps, then I can kill it. And if it, well, I think it's still on cooldown if I were to be serious, but this is pretty much dead now.
Engaged.
There, that's a victory. It's always scary having to deal with a ridiculous amount of scourges, especially when I don't have a lot of torpedoes, or at least a lot of abilities that can kind of distract them. Since they have the speed, unlike orc fighters, I think. I think I may be misunderstanding that. I think orc fighters still go the same speed as them, but still, it's always terrifying if you don't manage that properly. And it kind of makes me wonder if I should have gone with this stasis bomb just for defensive purposes. Kind of like how I try to use the stasis bomb to manage the Tau seeker missiles and fighters a little bit. Either way, it's a good start I suppose, and we got good use out of the Nova cans, which can be pretty easy to do against Necrons since they don't have the convenience of a combustion gauge, so once you force them to jump, or force orcs to use the big red button, or even Eldari to a good extent if you burn their mobility, they're kind of forced to take those hits if you aim it properly. Alright, some Imperial Navy, and we're gonna have fun with this, I suppose. Also, it's a question what we're going up against with Seagull time, because I can't quite recall. I encountered them a few times, I think. I just can't remember. Is this the fleet with 4 battleships, or was it something a little more different? Honestly, I can't remember, and I'm not certain. The one main strength I feel like I'm going to have in this matchup, especially against all battleships, is the power of Disruption Overcharge and the fact, keep in mind, this pauses shield regeneration. I don't feel the best about utilizing this since I believe it's a glitch or a bug, which means I'm winning due to exploits if I win this match at all. Although I'm going to be relying a lot on my Novacans as well. Sadly, this is a terrible deployment area for me, because Seagull can very easily use the gas clouds and have 3 points to kind of secure really easily. Where that's not as convenient for me since I don't really want to get in close. I want to argue anyway. You know, stasis bomb to kind of try and keep them from moving, especially if it's the battleships I'm thinking they are. And see what long range damage we can do. This is one of the few times I might group my fleet together, since I don't really want to, because if my battleship tries for that middle point, it's going to be confronted with like their entire fleet. Is the feeling on that matter. So I don't want to go there, and I still have armor piercing, which I think Coolexis is better just because of the range benefit. If I can ever get an opportunity to utilize it, that is. Let's see. I did hit ready, didn't I? Okay. Alright, so this looks like 4 battleships. If I had to guess. Normally I would prioritize the generator due to the factor battleship, but again, like I said, I can pause their shield regeneration. So I'm just going to launch the fighters anyway, even though they can very easily conceal this gas cloud, so I'm not likely going to get to reveal them. Nope, I'm taking asteroid damage. Very minor damage, but you can see already the amount. It took out like 50 points of morale damage right there, just for that brief period in the asteroid belt, dang it. That just goes to show how quickly my fleet's gonna break if I start taking some serious damage. Otherwise, maybe I could be so lucky to get this objective.
Receiving your order.
It does sadly give away where my frigates are, which I'm gonna need for said gas cloud. But I need to have something go my way to at least be able to start taking advantage of it. Since Seagull is gonna just grab these points so much more faster than me, just because of 4 battleships.
State your order.
And due to the placement of the objectives,
Hostile signature detected.
I'm without a doubt gonna have to... Ooh, conveniently we see where the frigate is.
We are ready to serve.
A frigate. I don't know if they have any more or not.
Hostile signature detected.
And what do we have here? 4 Apocalypse. And all shield upgrades, which is something I can definitely abuse quite well.
With matchless
This is a nice treat
efficiency.
for
The
me.
enemy has seized a strategic area.
Now, I want to ideally kill off this frigate.
Machine spirit appeased.
It's just a shame. I literally... It's because I moved that I got myself detected there, didn't it? Since my other frigate just
begun.
barely avoid getting spotted.
Engaging drive.
Alright, there's something over here, so let's try and grab it.
Receiving
And
your
sadly,
order.
I'm taking a lot of fire here, apparently, too.
Transition begun.
Even though these are only cannons. Unless I'm getting... Oh, I'm getting hit by lances, too, because again, they are Apocalypse after all.
Engage engine red lines.
If I can get out of
Thruster
range, that's
routines
nice.
Active. State your order.
You have seized a strategic area.
Yeah, they ran off, alas,
To
so...
serve the Omnisire.
I do have the one objective, though.
To serve the Omnisire.
And I'd like to reveal this frigate.
Optimal
Sadly, I had to
course
do the
set.
stupid thing to burn my combustion gauge. Since I know they don't have a mission dissipator, so maybe I can snipe that thing off for
Machine
free.
spirit appeased. We are ready to
Otherwise,
serve.
I have 3 objectives for a brief period of time. It's not gonna last, though.
Hostile signature detected.
And thankfully, I did reveal it. Not gonna last me long.
Matchless efficiency.
Combustion gauge is about to come back on. Now,
Machine spirit appeased.
I am actually gonna try and hunt this
With
thing down.
matchless efficiency.
And I may get an additional frigate as a bonus. Actually, let's not devil.
We are ready to serve.
Oh, I did double boost.
Engaging
Nope,
drive.
they scanned me as well. That's what happened.
Engage ancient red lines. To serve the Omnisire. Thruster
So that
routines
should die.
active.
Don't think I have the means to hit that one, though.
State your order.
Come on, finish it off there. One lance shot's all we need. Thank you.
To serve the Omnisire. Optimal course set. State your order.
How long till the
Rouse the
scanner
engines.
pulse dies?
Receiving your order.
Alright.
Transition.
Latency has screwed me over a tiny bit here. Yep, latency just screwed me big time.
The enemy has seized a strategic
That is unfortunate
area.
there. Because the battleship looked like it was going to make it out pretty safely.
Engaging
Now,
drive.
let's try and soften these up and prioritize our targets.
Holy Omnisire, heal thy wounded servant.
And if possible, just have this take the hits. Although,
Reroute power to retro propulsion.
I'm going to have to move, and let's not get screwed over again, please, by this.
The spirits obey. Machine spirit appeased. With matchless efficiency.
There, we got hits there, we got morale
We are
damage.
ready to serve.
And that's all their shots completely burnt there in a moment.
Propulsion. Rouse the engines.
So this looks like a good opportunity. They might boost out, since I don't think the stasis bomb's going to connect in time.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Actually, that was the best case situation, I guess. They just burnt their Nova cans. And we're gonna hit them with basically everything we got, almost. Although, sadly, my Maelstrom is not as potent as it could have been. But let's try and get the shields back up. You're on fire, you're about to mutiny. Although it shouldn't have burnt like both my scanner pulse in case, because again, they have the convenience of this gas cloud to utilize.
Calculating vectors.
Mutiny.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I think I kind of want to destroy your deck, with that said. In case you... Oh wait, your deck's destroyed. So we're doing this mainly for the morale damage, I guess.
Engaging drive. Energize vector thrust.
Come on. Latency is screwing me over a tiny bit again, and I don't like it. I don't approve of this.
Machine spirit appeased.
And I don't have collect... Oh, I do have collect assassins, so keep that in mind, since I did just burn that.
To serve the Omnisire. Holy Omnisire.
Recharge, get moving. Because in theory, I should be in good shape. I just don't want them to focus down this one ship if I can help it.
We are ready to serve. Starhawks engaging. State your order.
Sadly, Novacan's not going to do as much damage as I want, but I am about to rally.
Enhance rotational drift. Rouse the engines.
Now, you're likely just going to boost away, aren't you?
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
Nope, you're just mutinying.
Target on screens.
Now the main thing, keep in mind, I have ramming spurs, so if I can hit their prow,
Receiving your order.
that's still pretty good for me.
Transition begun.
But we need to kill their ship still.
Machine spirit appeased.
And I have lightning strike coming up, so save it for the kill. Force a mutiny as a result of this.
Power to retro propulsion.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic
Dude, I'll
points.
damage the deck.
Troop transition successful.
Although, it won't mean much just yet, I suppose.
Castellan manifold teleported. To serve the Omnisire.
And this is perfect because that's going to force another mutiny, even though they're ramming my ship to death.
To serve the Omnisire. The spirits
So I have no more Novacans, so we got to make this count.
enhance rotational
And I have
drift.
A3 armor, so let me at least do the damage necessary.
Order.
And if possible, maybe this will save my flagship, if only just barely.
Revere the Omnisire.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic
Flagship
points.
sadly gone.
You have accumulated 75% of strategic points.
State your order.
So,
Engage Chrysalis protocols.
let's just try,
Thruster routines
and I guess get out of
active.
here. Although, not going to be able to, I suppose.
To serve the Omnisire.
Oh, they just conceded. It was probably a lot closer than it needed to be, since my second cruiser was not able to rally or recover itself. But damn it, a few latency spikes really screwed me over there too, which is part of the reason that, in all honesty, was as close as it probably was. You saw that there, I'm hoping you saw it, where I was about to get out of that Novacan salvo and then I lagged, I elastic band back into the Novacan, it seemed like. So, it was a win, but I'm still a little bit bitter. Alright, so Necron yet again. We'll see how this fares for our friend Cypher. Although, I did have a match with him already, and it was pretty brutal to stomp, so I don't expect this to go any better for him unless they learn their lesson. Although with the Mecha Dominator, I do seriously wonder if their Ancestral Terror ability actually works at canceling out the Mecha Dominator or not. Since in theory it is kind of similar to a rally, it's just a weird conal effect that can also do morale damage to the opponent. But otherwise, they kind of jumped recklessly into my Novacans and they got obliterated horribly. So I think in this case I won't use the Mecha Dominator to try and give us a little bit more of an interesting match. Yeah, it works. Yeah, rallying encouraging speech, which cancels the effect, so I wonder if this Astral Tear does that as well. So instead of Mecha Dominator, we'll go with the Cybernetic Orb. Give us a little more punch. And also, might as well get the Armor Piercing ammo. I guess it's probably a good choice, but if I'm able to destroy their decks permanently, so Kulex's Assassin can be really damn impactful too, if utilized properly. So this is not the 2 battle cruisers and tomb ship there. We're looking at maybe 4 regular cruisers. And these are probably cruisers, keep in mind, not likely the battle cruisers. So if that's true, then their lightning arcs have no they don't have 270 degree arc. So there is possibility of their blind spot being on the prow to limit some of their firepower. But I'm gonna throw them a bit of a bone here, and the cruisers still have a lot of hit points still, so I'm gonna have a hard time killing them off, especially with my main weaponry. And hell, their boarding damage is that much more scary too, which I don't really want to get in close, since they are going to kill that crew effectively. But that's also where they're most comfortable, I suppose, so they're going to jump into close range and there's not going to be a lot I can do about it. And unless I force them to burn their inertial drive preemptively, burn it early with my Novacan shots. And I was going to think of maybe finding the bolt, but it looks like Cypher is prioritizing the objectives. And already dealt with those fighters easily enough, and they do have 3 charges of them. So they're not going to do a whole lot on their own, especially with my fleet grouped up as they are. It does reveal the ships, and speaking of which, I should be trying to boost, since they don't really have the range to punish this the best, or abilities for that matter. Yep, the fighters still come. They are not scourges, so I don't worry about them nearly as much. And hell, did I hear like an inertialist maneuver or something? I thought I heard something being utilized, that's all I could tell you.
Hostile signature detected.
You have seized a
So yeah, these are standard harvesters, so they are still a threat. Especially with all 4 of them together, but all I see is 1 upgrade, so what would be the second upgrade in that case? Extended sensors, maybe? I don't know what to tell you here.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I just don't want to shoot them with my frigates, because as soon as I reveal them... Well, actually, if they burn... Yeah, if they actually burn their inertialist drive jumping them, then... Actually, I'm probably in a position where I want to force them to use their inertialist drive anyway. So let's see what happens.
We are ready to serve. To serve the Omnissiah.
So this is gonna hurt. And this is why I said this is going to be really good for me if they go carelessly like this. Although, what would be the alternatives? Is the honest truth. Because hell, I don't want to burn the Novacans on them. I want to continue damaging the other ships. I have armor piercing ammo, so I'm hoping to kill this off quickly. That's 1 down. We got Novacans coming up in a moment. And speaking of which, I should set them to reload for that reason too. And you are a battle cruiser, the flagship that is.
The engines. To serve the Omnissiah.
You have accumulated 25%.
Sadly, I'm gonna have to split my fire a bit.
Optimal course set.
A little unfortunate, but
Calculating vectors.
can we still make this work?
Engage engine red lines.
I'm not gonna do a lot of boring damage because honestly,
Machine spirit
I'd rather
appeased.
repopulate my crew for when they start getting killed off.
Legio Cybernetica have boarded the enemy.
Alright. We are getting our damage split a little bit. So we gotta be careful of that.
Unleash fire cascade. State your order.
And I have armor piercing ammo, so
Engage
hell, let me ram
engine
you. I have
red
A3
lines.
armor on the prow.
Thruster
And hopefully,
routines active.
I could turn this cruiser, start taking hits on.
Thruster routines active.
Alright, that works.
Utter the canticles of battle.
In another 80 seconds, I can maybe do another, what is this version? Red Tempest.
State your order.
Now I gotta set up for a Novacan shot. That's always the important thing. And it's kind of why I like having these ships spread out. And it's conveniently working out well in this exchange. So second one's about to die. That might die in a moment.
We are ready to serve.
Yep, that's dead. We're down to just the flagship,
Machine
which is gonna die momentarily, although my ship is mutinying on me.
Machine spirit
Unfortunately.
appeased.
But we have this under wraps now.
With matchless
This is pretty much done. Just contribute your firepower frigates.
State your order.
And can we get another? Yep, engine's down, so let's just send it off in
Ready to
style.
serve.
It is definitely brutal with having to deal with the Novacans. And keep in mind, I am also using the... Oh, well, apparently there's some stupid latency. You just noticed the shields take... The shields just got hit after a Novacan shot there. A bit of a bug that is annoying as well. But I can definitely feel for Necron. Novacans are intimidating. On the plus side though, outside of Novacans, or not Novacans but armor piercing ammo, they're not really the best at doing damage. The only thing it got going for them is being able to pause the regeneration of Necron ships, so if you're able to somehow minimize the Novacan shots, especially in my case where I have only 4 Novacans, or 4 cruisers, or let me rephrase that again, I have only 4 ships that can fire Novacans as opposed to 5, they could possibly outlast it, and then my lances and macrocans are not very impactful. It's just going to be really awkward having them regenerate their shields though. So, I need to play more Necron, I think, especially against Adeptus Mechanicus to really, what can I, well, I don't know, just put my money where my mouth is. There's the phrase I wanted to get out.